Sup you guys, ASD Classified here. So, I did read the Soul of the Dragon graphic novel, comic book thing. So I figured I might as well talk about it while it's still somewhat fresh on my mind. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this story. Like, I liked it. It was definitely worth my coins, which I always appreciate. Definitely worth my money. So yeah, enjoyed it a lot. And I feel like even the Tommy haters would like this story because it really humanizes Tommy. You know, like, he's not the God King of Power Rangers that he normally is. You know, he made a lot of mistakes in this comic book, you know. So the Tommy haters should appreciate that, especially when they were just up in arms about Dimensions in Danger, you know, the 25th anniversary episode and Ninja Steel. They were just upset about Tommy in that episode, like, oh, how dare he, you know, get all this focus, and how dare all the Rangers in the episode show Tommy the respect that he deserves. Like, they were just super upset. But if they read this episode, read this comic book, if they read the comic book, they'll probably be like, oh, okay, this is a Tommy I can get into. A Tommy that makes a buttload of mistakes and gets his ass kicked a lot, you know? I don't know. So, you know, in Soul of the Dragon, Tommy's an old man, you know, he's kind of retired from being a Power Ranger, but not really. And his son with Kat, JJ. JJ works for SPD. He's an SPD officer. And one day, JJ goes missing. And understandably, Tommy is worried and upset. And Tommy goes to Sky. And, you know, Sky is the current commander of the SPD Earth branch. So Tommy goes to Sky and he's talking to him like, you know, what's going on with my son. And Sky tells him ain't nothing to worry about. SPD will take care of it. And he's telling Tommy to stay out of it. Tommy, of course, did not stay out of it. He went looking for his son himself. Tommy found his son, but it turns out JJ wasn't missing or kidnapped or in danger or anything like that. JJ was doing an undercover mission and Tommy ruined that mission. So that's the thing that happened. And after Tommy ruined that mission, that ended up getting JJ actually kidnapped and in danger. But yeah, so Tommy was fucking up a lot in this comic book. And, you know, yeah, and also had to struggle with the fact that he's older and that his powers aren't really working that well anymore. And it's like, you need to give it up, old man. But, you know, it was a lot of that in the story, which I enjoyed, you know. But going back to the whole Sky lying to Tommy thing, it's like, Sky, you could have just told Tommy from the start that JJ was in an undercover mission. Now, I get it. It's SPD. It's a police military organization. I'm sure they have regulations being like, you know, we can't tell people who are not SPD, SPD business, you know. So I get that, but at the same time, it's Tommy. It's Tommy. He's an OG Power Ranger. Tommy been a Power Ranger before Sky was even born. I feel like you should have just told Tommy the truth because you know Tommy. Even Sky knew that there was a good chance that Tommy was going to disregard what Sky told him and Tommy was going to try to find his son on his own. He tried to tell Tommy not to do that. If you really didn't want Tommy to do this shit, you probably should have just told him the truth. Like, nothing wrong with your son. He's on the undercover mission. And Tommy probably would have been like, oh, okay, cool. But you lied to Tommy instead. And Tommy fucked up your mission anyway. So yeah, I don't feel like I have too much to say about this comic book. Like, I really enjoyed it. But there's a lot of expectations I had for this story. And those expectations weren't really met. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that I just knew were going to happen in the story that didn't actually happen. Like, I just knew Lord Zedd and Rita were going to be in the story, and they were not in the story at all. Like, I thought we were going to see, you know, Z-Wave, Purified, Zedd and Rita interacting with Tommy, helping Tommy out or something, you know. But that didn't happen. We had Venster in this comic book, like a purified Z-Wave Venster, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, I didn't know the Z-Wave purified him. I thought it turned him into dust. So that was cool. Tommy, in yet another fuck up, got Venster killed in this comic. Like, I knew it too. Like, I knew it. Like, there was a panel in the comic where Tommy was, you know, fighting with the main villain in this comic, and he said, Venster sends his regards. You know, it's like, as soon as you name drop Venster to the villain, I just knew he was gonna die. I was like, if the villain gets away in this scene, she's gonna kill Venster. And sure enough, Venster died after that. The villain got away and then Venster died. So thanks, Tommy. But yeah, moving on from that, I expected Kimberly to be in this comic. I don't know why, but I did. And she wasn't in it. I just thought there was gonna be a scene between Tommy and Kim, like they were gonna talk or something, you know. I really want them to talk. Like, I really want to see a scene where Tommy and Kim, you know, it's been years since they broken up. You know, Tommy's married. I'm sure Kimberly's married. I just want to see them talk, you know, and just have that kind of connection, you know, without crossing the line. Just like, you know, we used to be each other's first loves, but we still cool, you know? Kind of like that old Gwen Stefani song, like, you know, we're cool, cool. You know, that song. I just wanted a moment between Tommy and Kim where we didn't get that. None of the old Mighty Morphin Rangers were in this comic, actually, which I'm a little sad about, but oh well. You know, there's a lot of references in this comic book, though, which I do love. I love all the references. I eat it up. I love how a part of this comic book SPD is, because it's in the future. So of course SPD will be a part of this, you know, even though the story is mostly about Tommy, it's not really about SPD, but I love the fact that SPD is around and they acknowledge, you know, New Tech City and that aliens live on Earth now. I love it. And I also love, there's a scene where this character, I think her name is Anara or Amara. I think it's Anara though. So Anara is like a friend of JJ and she was helping Tommy, you know, try to find JJ, right? So there was a part where she was examining Tommy's Master Morpher, because his Master Morpher is damaged, like it's broken. It was damaged in some fight that Tommy had a long time ago, so it barely works. It's like Adam's Morpher in that In Space episode where he came to help Carlos. It's like that, like if you morph, you can die, right? Tommy spent so much time morphing in this comic book, he didn't give a shit. Like, it's morphin' time, even though he could die, right? He even handed his morpher to his son at one point. It's like, you could have killed your son, Tommy. What the fuck? But yeah, this girl, Honora, was working on Tommy's damaged morpher, right? And she was like, ooh, the technology here is amazing. Cranston? Fairweather? You know, I like that. Like, this concept of, like, who made the Master Morpher? Was it Billy? Was it Miss Fairweather? Who knows? Who knows? I would love it if Haley made the Master Morpher. You know, yes, the red-haired genius. I love it. Haley should be the one that made the Master Morpher. But yeah, I love the name drop. I wish we would have actually saw Billy in this comic. You know, he probably helping with SPD in some way, you know. Oh well. One other thing I want to mention, like, I was in no rush to read the story. Like, I knew I was going to get to it eventually, but I was in no rush. But then the Power Ranger account on Twitter put out this picture, right? They put up like this Christmas card with like the current SPD team on there and how they look, and it made me want to buy the Solar Dragon comic, because I'm like, oh wait, is this team in that comic? They're not. So I was disappointed that they weren't in the comic, but I still appreciate, you know, the Power Ranger, you know, Twitter account for putting that picture out, because clearly they're gonna do an SPD comic book thing in the future. They better. Okay, they better. So yeah. But the Christmas card itself was awesome. So it has Bridge as the Red Ranger, you know, right? It has Sky on there. He gets this new Ranger suit, like Deca Red, and I love it. I love the design. Awesome. We have a new Blue Ranger who's a woman, an Asian woman, and y'all had to tell me she from Hyperforce, because I would not have known otherwise, because I barely watched like 2 episodes of Hyperforce, so I absolutely would not have known that this woman, the new SPD Blue Ranger, was somebody from Hyperforce. So yeah, but kudos though, you know, we got a female Blue Ranger, so awesome. Tommy's son JJ, he's a part of the team. He's SPD Green now, and he has the dragon shield. It looks stupid. It looks stupid. Like, I get it, you're paying homage to your father, it still looks stupid. Take it off. So yeah, JJ's the new SPD Green Ranger, and at least we saw that in the Solar Dragon comic. Like, he morphed into SPD Green at the end, so okay. And SPD Pink and Yellow, that's still Sid and Z, so yeah. Apparently, some Power Ranger fans had a lot to say about this Christmas card. I didn't see it. I just heard about it afterwards. The girls in SPD, that, you know, Sid and Z, that they're not promoted again. You know, like, everybody keep moving up, and now you have Tommy's son. He's number 3. But Sid and Z are still like 4 and 5, really? And I think they said that, you know, the Power Ranger people had to come out and, you know, the people at Hasbro, they had to come out and say like, nah man, see, only red and blue are the ones that are ranked, you know, only 1 and 2. Those are the only rankings, like the leader and then second in command. Those are the only ones. Everybody else, they're on the same ranking regardless of what number they got on their suit, right? And of course, Sky is Deca Red. He's on top of the food chain. He over all of them. But yeah, only red and blue, those are the only ones that are ranked. Which makes sense, but I get why people were like, damn, how come Sid and Z don't move up, you know, the rankings like everybody else, you know? But I get it. I get it. And we had the same argument in the SPD finale. Like, people were up in arms back then. Was like, Bridge moved to blue, but Sid and Z are still yellow and pink. What the fuck? But okay, I will accept Hasbro's explanation of, for everybody else, the ranking, there is no rankings. They're all the same level. It makes sense. And besides, pink was Sid's favorite color. I doubt she wants to change. I doubt Z really gives a fuck. So I get it. I get it. But how come this random this random chick is now the Blue Ranger and she ranks higher than Sid and Z? That's weird. I feel like Z should be the Blue Ranger if anything, but okay. And speaking of things from the SPD finale, like the Solar Dragon comic also mentions A Squad, so I guess they're now the A Squad, even though the SPD finale made it pretty clear there was no longer an A Squad. I guess we're just ignoring that, which is fine because that was a stupid thing anyway. Oh, y'all just will be B Squad. There will be no A Squad. Whatever. But yeah, I'm rambling now, and that's because I'm hungry. I need to go eat. But yeah, this comic, it was awesome. You should definitely read it if you have not already, even though I pretty much spoiled the shit. Should definitely read it anyway, you know? Yeah. If you already have read it and you're watching this review, let me know in the comment. Let me know what you thought about it. Alright, I'm getting something to eat. Later, guys. Hey, y'all. So, I have eaten. And now that I am full and my brain is working a little bit better, I decided to add on to this video just a little bit. So, I wanted to talk about the main villains of this comic book. The main villain was Scorpina and Lokar. Yeah, I wish we had different villains here. Like, okay, I have nothing against Scorpina. She's a fan favorite. I always loved Scorpina. And I was pretty happy when we first started seeing more Scorpina in the comics because, you know, in Mighty Morphin, she just disappeared one day without any explanation. So it was cool to see her more in the comics and stuff. But main villain of this graphic novel, the main villain, I don't know about that one. I feel like they could do better. And Lokar too, like, so one of the, I guess the main villain plot was that Scorpina needed to do sacrifices. Like, she tried to sacrifice Tommy's son to Lokar, and in doing this, Lokar would grant her like more magical power and stuff, and she'd be unstoppable. You know, so they're making Lokar out to be Satan now. It's a little weird, and I get it. I mean, in the Japanese counterpart in Zyuranger, Lokar was literally Satan. So I get what you're trying to do here, but like, it seems like you're making Lokar out to be a bigger villain than he actually was. Like, Lokar was literally a giant floating head that sometimes shot lightning at the Ranger Zords. Like, he really didn't do that much, you know, especially when Lokar could not even destroy the weakest Zords that the Power Rangers ever had. Like, what is Lokar supposed to do against SPD Zords? But when he couldn't even destroy like the original Megazord and Dragonzord, like, really? What? Like, I don't know. They just making him out to be this big threat that he never was, and Scorpina never was. And it's just, I feel like this graphic novel, it should have had like a better, like more powerful, more intimidating villain. And I don't know, you could have made up a new villain. You could have had a bunch of villains trying to resurrect Dark Spectre. I don't know. I just feel like the villain probably should have been a little more grandiose. Okay, I don't like Thrax, right? Lord Zed and Rita's son, I don't like him. But I would have been pretty surprised if Thrax was like the main villain of this graphic novel, you know. And I trust Kyle Higgins to be able to write Thrax in a good way. You know, it would have been awesome, like the son of Lord Zed and Rita, he's back. You thought that the Senator Knight could take me out? You know, it would have been cooler than just Scorpina and Lokar, you know. Even though Lokar, I did like that line from Lokar when he killed Scorpina. In the end, I loved it. She was like, oh, Lokar, just give me a little more time. Some more time! Bitch, you had plenty of time. Shut the fuck up. I love that part. But yeah. Please don't take my criticisms as if I didn't like this comic. Because like I said, I really like this comic. It was very enjoyable read. Definitely worth my money. I'm just saying there were a lot of expectations I had of it that it didn't necessarily meet. But when I put those expectations to the side and just look at what the story was, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see more stories like this. I can't wait to see more SPD comic book stories. So yeah, that's all I had to add to this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See y'all later. Ciao, mata.